Who y'all got? Crawford or Porter? Let's turn to. Welcome to Boxing Fan Talks TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. We got L Dub in the building, was popping king. Eric Gomez was popping king. Welcome. It ain't much to say. I'm excited. As y'all can see, the countdown to Deontay Wilder. I got less than 2 weeks. My birthday weekend at that. I will be in the place in Vegas. I'm hoping to score some seats somewhere. I don't care if it's in front of somebody TV. I don't give a damn. I'll pay somebody $150 to watch it at their house. I'm going to see that fight. I think I'm this close to getting me an actual ticket. But I hope so. Anybody want to donate to the get Deontay Wilder tickets? I'm just joking. But I would love to go to that fight. And I think I got a pretty good chance to get a ticket. So as y'all see, I just had good news today. So I'm kind of like happy. I'm cutting the jig over here. I'm cutting the real jig. But hey, shout out to all my Facebookers out there. As I always invite y'all into the chat. You know, tonight I'm gonna make my thumbnail. We're gonna have grown women talk on Friday. I allowed, the ladies to come up with the topics, and we're gonna chop it up on Fridays. Hopefully it's gonna be a good one. Hopefully we have fun and everything with it. So ain't nothing to do but the countdown. That's all I can say. I'm cutting the jig, y'all. Y'all just don't know. I'm packing my bags. I got my bags. Some items put in the bag. I'm ordering my medication that I'm gonna take with me to make sure I don't forget that, because that could turn into a bad situation. And yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. So a sister happy. A sister is happy cutting a jig. So anyway, we got Crawford and Porter, as y'all saw my caption. You know that fight is coming up. Y'all know Terrence is my guy. I can talk shit and swallow spit. I'm sure, people, I hear a lot of people, counting Bud out. And that's okay. That is okay. Because they have their reasons. I don't negate no one's reason. But I have my reasons why I'm not counting them out. Bud is a more complete fighter. It's almost like saying, what can't he do? What can't the man do? And I can't think of it. If you say anything about fundamental boxing or whatever, I really cannot think of something that Bud cannot do. But I can think of a whole lot of things that Porter can't do. And since Porter plays football/boxing, I really believe what's going to happen, and I can't tell you what round, but I believe Porter going to come in with that nonsense, and Bud going to rock his ass. They're going to run. It's going to be kind of like that Marquez and Pacquiao fight. When Marquez knocked his ass out, put him to sleep, put him up under the bed. That's what's gonna happen to Sean Porter. I do not think that Sean Porter possess a whole lot of power. I think he's rugged, aggressive, and sometimes, a lot of times, it's effective aggressiveness. But I don't think he got that kind of knockout power. When I really believe that Bud does. But a lot of people will probably say, "No, Bud is done." Again, some people dislike Bud because of the way he moving in them boxing streets. I can't cap for Bud. He be making some weird decisions. I ain't got nothing to say about that. All I can say is I like him as a fighter. I love what he do in the ring. The other shit outside the ring, I can't even explain that shit. So I don't even try. I just try to stay in my lane. I ain't gonna count another nigga money. So that's all I can do. And I hope I keep that same energy. But when we talk about somebody else, because I was like, shit, if I'm gonna get mad at Bud for the business choices he makes, shit, I might as well be mad at a whole lot of people. I don't have time in my life for that. But Bud is gonna knock Porter ass out. Because Porter is gonna run into something. Uh, you guys, the phone lines are open. That's 706-804-4449. 706-804-4449. Come up in the building. Give me a call to my Facebookers. Y'all can call that number and be right up in the building with me. But I always say to the Facebookers, come out of Facebook, go to your YouTube, look me up, Boxing Fans Talk TV, and then click on the live broadcast, and you will pop up in the chat. I'm shouting y'all out because a lot of y'all, I have a lot of viewers through Facebook as well. And it's not that I'm ignoring y'all. I just don't see y'all while I'm doing the live broadcast. Now, I ain't that crafty yet. The sister ain't that crafty where I can be on the Facebook trying to control some shit and be in this StreamYard trying to control some shit. That ain't me. It take a sister a while. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have these gadgets and gadgets when I was coming up in the world. So take me a little bit time to acclimate to some shit. But anyway, what say y'all? I would love to hear what y'all got to say about this Crawford and Bud Crawford and Porter fight. I would love to hear because I see these little photos, seem like Bud coming out the woodwork. It's gonna be an excellent fight. Excellent, excellent fight. Remember the dates, and I'll keep reminding y'all as we get closer. The dates is gonna be November 20th, 2021. It's gonna be streaming on ESPN Plus, and it's gonna be held at the Mandalay Bay Michelob, I guess part of their Bay Michelob Center or whatever. It's gonna start at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And for those of you who want to get in on the ESPN Plus, I guess now the time is to do it. The only question I have, Eric Gomez said 2 times. The only question that I have is, if you have those apps, do you still have to pay extra? So I would say, like the Zone this weekend, I watched Eddie Hearn get that ass beat. I didn't pay nothing extra. So if you didn't have the Zone, I wonder, how did y'all see the fight? How much did you have to pay? Was it offered through pay-per-view or what? I don't know. But I didn't have to pay anything because I had the Zone. So I'm hoping ESPN is like that. ESPN Plus. Plus, if you like football, basketball, got other sports that you guys tend to like. So they have that $6.99 a month ain't bad, or you can get the bundle of $13.99 a month, which includes Disney and Hulu, which I already have those. So I don't know. I'm contemplating. Because I mean, the way things are going, and all these fights getting canceled and rescheduled and this, that, and the other, it's like a pile up. It's starting to stockpile, like back order, something like that. Because let's think of November. Okay, we know the Terrence and Porter gonna be more than likely a pay-per-view, but so is Canelo and Caleb Plant. And then I'm trying to think of who else. November is hot right now. Hot. It's on fire. That is a month. Don't leave your seat. I know basketball gonna start back up in November. You got football still and boxing. You might as well pull up in your lazy boy and put it on your sport channels and don't leave. Go to work and come back home because it's just too much going on in the month of November. October is hot. October is hot. Y'all know, like I said, I'm so happy we getting close. I could reach out and touch the champ. We getting close to that date. Lord have mercy. Henley in the building was Poppy King. But we'll catch him. He sure will. If anybody can say differently, or maybe it's something that I'm overlooking. Hey, I do want to address this one hater I had. He wasn't disrespectful, so I'm not mad at it. His name was Robert Blake. I don't even know who that is, but he sent me a message and he said, I'm paraphrasing. He kind of said, she's biased and it's a damn shame or something. But he said it in regards to a Canelo and Caleb Plant video that I did. And I'm sure that I talked about Canelo like a dog in that. So I would say, Robert Blake, I know you watching. You probably just don't come in the chat. I'm not mad. That was your opinion. And we welcome diverse opinions around here. We just don't try to cross the gun line. So
we don't need no fences.
We don't.
We got us the gun line.
Tell them about the gun line, boss.
That was Hopping Bob telling them about. He said, "Tell them about the gun line, boss." We don't need to put up barriers. If you want to come in, Robert, and discuss where you think I'm being biased, because if I'm biased, I'll tell you guys I'm biased, and I'm not ashamed to say I was wrong about something. But I work very hard. I give a concerted effort not to be biased with anyone, because that's I'm a Libra. I'm a true Libra. Scales got to be balanced. I can't do bias. I can't do unfairness. That ain't even in my nature. So, Robert, if you thinking I'm being biased, let me know, because I will tell you guys I'm not intentionally being biased. That was an okay critique to me. It's an assumption, and you're wrong. But I'm cool with your critique. But if I'm biased, you have to let me know, because and this is to everybody, I never intend to be biased. And if I'm biased, I tell you when I'm biased. I ain't ashamed to say it. If I'm wrong, I can come on here and tell you straight up, looking y'all dead in y'all eyes, say, Miss T was wrong. I have no ego with that, because I'm not perfect. However, if I call Canelo a cheat, if I say he ain't all that as a boxer, then Robert Blake, I ain't biased. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? I got something on my computer screen. Sorry. But anywho, if you want to get at me, Robert, my number is down there, 706-804-4449. So, who y'all got? Bud or Porter? Y'all call in and let a sister know. I put the link in the chat. You can beam in if you want to. So, like I said, it might be a good thing to get the ESPN now, because if that saves you, I don't know how much y'all think the Porter and Crawford could charge on their fight. If you $6.99 is way better than what a pay-per-view could charge. And like I say, if you watch other sports, then this is right up your alley. I think it's a good buy. But I don't get paid to advertise for them. I'm just saying anything to see the fights, huh? So who y'all got? Bud all the way. I have everybody in agreement. I assume we all in agreement. That's cool. So I'm gonna move on. Y'all want to bring it back? Just call in, beam in, whatever. Manny Pacquiao has finally announced his retirement. He's a man of a considerable age. He's allowed to change his mind from time to time. All I can say is we have to wait and see what he actually does. Does his actions match what he say? We'll have to just wait and see that. We know that him running for presidency, I think all that mess kick off around March. So you can bet your bottom dollar the beginning of the year till it's over with, he ain't gonna be doing nothing with boxing. So maybe he's for real. If he wins, he is officially retired, because he'll never come back. because he wins the presidency. He's going to run for re-election when his time is up. By that time, he'll be way too old. So he announced it, ending a 26-year career. He's 42. His record at the end is 68 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw, and 39 KOs. That's an impressive record. Um, what that means though, what does that mean? When see, it's always a domino effect. So when Pacquiao announces his retirement, we can we can see how that affects other fighters like Ugas. Ugas, remember I told y'all previous videos that the WBA ordered Ugas to he had 119 days to get a fight done or the contract completed so that he could fight Stanionis. Um, but Ugas was more preferably wanting to fight Pacquiao, which I don't blame him. That's a bigger payday. And if you beat him with a messed up arm, I'm sure you can beat him healthy Ugas. You know what I'm saying? But now that Pacquiao is definitely saying he's retired, he's actually saying it out his mouth. Ugas got that 119 days to get it done. And I think when I first said it in the video, I was trying to count how many days we had left in the year. And I think I'm going to say he just got to the end of the year to get that shit done. So we can be looking forward to an Ugas Staniosis fight probably in January, February of next year. Because, the WBA ordered it. I found it weird that the WBA had ordered something so fast. Like they own his ass. Like, nah, nigga, you ain't gonna get to sit back and chill and kick your feet up. You either gonna pay to play. Because remember what I told y'all how that works. Every time that a person got to fight, they have to pay a sanctioning fee. Now, the sanctioning fees don't seem like it's a lot, but when you think about everybody who's paying and how often you got to pay, that shit adds up. So, not only do your promoter, so if you're an independent person, that means you got to pay twice because your promoter has to pay every time that belt is on the line. So they have to pay for whoever his promoter is. They're gonna have to pay the WBA roughly $7,000. I did my spiel on WBC, but they all about the same, plus or minus 1,000. I don't know the exact price of each one, but we can use the model that the WBC has. So they're gonna pay $7,000. So then the person with the belt has to pay $7,000. The person that's going for the belt has to pay $7,000. You see how this shit is adding up? And then they had prices for percentages. So like if you're a person that make as much as Floyd, they cap it off at like 200,000 or something like that. Um, that Floyd would have had to pay or whatever. And that means everybody, everybody. Um, Also your trainer, your corner crew, everybody involved with that fight has to pay 3% of their earnings to the WBA. Ain't that something? So when it's all said and done, they made a killing. And like I said, to charge somebody who's even going for the belt, that's crazy. And if you're in contingent, that like let's say you wasn't going for that belt, but you're next in line, you be paying something too. They know how to get that money up off them people. And they run it. I mean, it's just crazy how they run it. And then you sit here and a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us be thinking why they don't have like medical for all these fighters. I mean, look at how the sanctioning bodies are stifling money off the top, or like somehow or another they're getting that money, but they don't have a union. Talking about the boxers, and they don't have something where they can stifle off money for medical. And I think they should. It don't have to be a percentage. Maybe it could be flat fees according to how much a person makes or whatever. But I know business wise it's better to always have a percentage. But you don't want the fighters pay or purse to be like feed up to death. Like it's a fee for this, it's a fee for that. It's a fee for this. But you got some fighters that will never make that much money now, but they did the same kind of work. They put their body through the same kind of pressure and turmoil. But yet now that they're older, they don't have no well to go to help them out with medical issues. And y'all know in this country, and I'm sure all around the world, some people are a paycheck away from being homeless. Some people are a medical bill away from being homeless or a dental bill or whatever. This shit ain't a joke. And the least that boxing can do is have medical and dental set aside for all the fighters who participate. But I'm going to pray that they get better with that. If the sanctioning bodies can stifle off all that they need, then I just hope and pray that they get better with that. Maybe start making the promoters put money aside for their insurance and put them in like a group insurance thing. To sound like too much like right. Uh, so that's what's gonna happen with the decision, going back to Manny Pacquiao, with that one decision to finally say, hey, I'm done. I'm hanging up these gloves. Ugas got 119 days to get this shit done, or he can be stripped. That's where they going with all that. Like the WBA and the sanctioning bodies, they're gonna bark or order. Your ass gonna say how high, and y'all gonna get it done. So that's just how it is. Um, like I said, the WBA is the one who ordered it. I just found it peculiar that they jumped on his situation so quick, and they don't be like that with everybody else. Like order Canelo to fight fucking Benavidez or order Canelo to fight Charlo. How about that, WBA? They order what they want to. I give them props. We did have we made some noise in the last couple of months with the WBA, especially after that Miguel Fox um, fight when he fought Maestri back in August. And they listened, they made some moves, they made some changes. They ain't all the way where we want them to be, but at least they heading in the right direction. So I got to give them a little props. But I want to all I want to do is see the same energy no matter what you do. You ordering fights, you making motherfuckers fight, that's fine. I have no problem. Just keep the energy going. Don't be unfair. Be fair with everybody across the board, and all us fans will understand and support y'all and get behind some of the moves and the decisions that y'all make. But don't be rushing Ugas to hurry up and defend this title. Like, what you want, some money? You already made a killing off that belt this year alone, and now you trying to make sure. Cause and y'all, every time you fight and you have them belts, you have to pay those sanctioning bodies. Not once, every time you fight, and so do your promoter. So think about Usyk, who just won 3 titles. Hell, he had to pay just being the opponent of Joshua. He had to pay something. Joshua pay. Look at all that double dipping. They is making a killing. You feel me? Some gotta give. Now move on to this next story. Shelly Finkel, who works with Deontay Wilder, basically putting out there, don't expect Wilder to get undisputed opportunities in the beginning part of 2022. And first, as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh Lord, what they about to say now? They already starting. He ain't even whipped his ass yet. The body ain't even warm yet. It ain't ready for that cooking. But Shelly Finkel works with Deontay, so he's saying, yo, y'all don't even pressure yourself about this undisputed with Usyk, because Usyk is gonna rematch Joshua. That much we know. And y'all know yesterday I told y'all that team Joshua activated the rematch clause. Come to find out today, no, the hell he didn't. I was like, what? You don't say. I thought he immediately, you know, activated it. If you listen to, and I got that from his team, from Eddie and all of them talking like, yeah, we activated. Well, y'all, they haven't. They haven't activated, and what they waiting on, I don't know. As I told y'all, my assessment of Joshua in that fight, he had fear in his eyes. He had hesitation. I don't think he believes his own hype. You can only lie and carry a lie but so long before the pressure of all that shit just fall on you. If y'all look at how they rank these heavyweights, it's such bull crap. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Joshua was never the goods, and he knew it comparatively to all the other heavyweights that was out there, like the Luis Ortiz of the world, like the Deontay Wilder of the world. Fuck Fury. Deontay should have left. Looking back in hindsight, Deontay should have left his ass where he was. Should have left his ass in the alley. But Deontay called himself trying to be nice and was like, look, the thing with Deontay is he don't want to leave no doubt. He could have left Fury where he was in the motherfucking alley. But then, people would be like, now, if you had to fight Tyson Fury, if you'd have fought him, he'd have whooped your ass. I'm sure Deontay thought about things like this when he pulled him out the alley. But, an alley cat will be an alley cat. Nasty and despicable. And, Tyson Fury stayed true to form. So Deontay gave him a break. He gave Luis Ortiz a break. Deontay just want to be the best. And he don't mind going through whatever to show that he is. Joshua was not that kind of fighter. And think about who he's gotten beat by. You gotten beat by now a person who was a cruiserweight that just moved up. And I dare say that Usyk, I think I don't know if that was his first fight. It won't he hadn't had many fights in the heavyweight division before he faced Anthony Joshua. But I thought it was a time limit on it because Usyk was undisputed. So when you're undisputed, you get the first crack at whoever the champions are in the next weight class that you move up to. So I assume that you got to make that decision before you to be like your first fight. I thought that you forfeit that decision if you go and fight others and then try to come back later. I didn't know how that worked, but I know that he fought Chisora, and Chisora is a heavyweight. So I'm assuming that he had a couple of bouts before he got to Joshua. But either way, he was a cruiserweight coming up to big ass Joshua. Joshua, dumbing himself down to him, got smaller, fought shorter. It just he just didn't have a plan. He wasn't ready for him. But what I see is Joshua can't fight no real boxer. That's my conclusion. He cannot fight a real boxer. And so that's why people like Ruiz beat his ass. And then, or Andy, I said Luis. Andy Ruiz. These names sounded like, y'all got to forgive me. Andy Ruiz beat his ass. And Usyk has now beat his ass because they were real boxers. And Joshua is not. There's something he can't contend with. The same thing I would say about Canelo ass. Cannot deal with a real boxer because it's just not he's not gifted that way to move his feet and everything. Because if you're gonna be a great boxer, a great fighter, it's all about your leg work and your feet work. That's what it's about. More than you just throwing your hands. It's about positioning, displacement of weight, all that stuff matter. And these are the fundamentals that people like Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez, they do not possess. Ain't nothing wrong. There's a lot of fighters that don't have it. But since those are the two top notable fighters, this is why I want to say they do not possess that ability or that talent. And every time they get in the ring with somebody who does possess it, they're gonna be exposed. Hence what happened this past Saturday. So as per Team Deontay, the Shelly Finkel is part of Deontay's team. Don't be looking for a undisputed match in the first quarter. First quarter could be like the first 3 or 4 months. Don't look for nothing because they got until talking Joshua and Usyk. They got until like February or March to get her done. And so I'm sure Deontay is not gonna browbeat Usyk. He got the patience. When Andy Ruiz won, Deontay congratulated him. He ain't like, well, come on, nigga, let us get into it. Deontay got all the patience in the world. In due time, the universe will be into him. And so I like him. That's one of the reasons that makes him like I just like him as a fighter for stuff like that, just his patience and just being a real dude and in these terrible situations that can drive anybody crazy. But Joshua, he got a lot to think about. Y'all know he just signed that lifelong contract with Eddie Hearn. He got a lot to think about. Because if he ain't bringing them no money, he on a slave plantation, y'all. He already is. But as long as he bringing money and cutting the jig and being a jigaboo and shit, he all to the good. And I say that about Joshua as probably like everybody else said, because that's what we see. But Joshua, you can always change. You don't have to be a jigaboo all the time. You cutting the jig and shit, buck dancing and shit. And we see that. And you don't have to. But it's to each his own. Again, I always say, I don't count nobody money, and I'm not counting your money in this instance because they pay you. They pay you pretty good. But ain't no money worth it to be in a coon, a jigaboo or whatever. Ain't no money worth it. But you see how these people think. All you gotta do is listen to what they say and go back and listen to what they have said. They think they masters, slave owners, and you guys run into them. I be damned. In shape, street fighter. What's poppin', King? What's good, Miss T? Passing through to hit the like button. Wow, I see the fake ego in here too. Who is ego? The fake ego? Who is that? Clue me in. I don't know who calling me. Hold on, y'all. It must be important. Hold on. Hello?
The Dental College of Georgia
Oh
has a
shit.
message for you.
Yeah, I just got a root canal done last Friday. Y'all remember when I was saying I feel sick? Man, they numbed my ass up from the rooty to the tootie. That all that shit was coming out my body. I was sick as hell. But in shape street fighter, who the fake ego? We got some fugazi people up in here. Pouring them out, I say. I said pouring them out. How dare he? Tell him where he at. Yeah, I wouldn't know the fake. I dressed some guy named Robert Blake. He had some, to say to me. He was my first hater, I guess, that actually put it in English. I've had other haters. I don't know if they letting the computer write for them, but I don't know what the fuck you saying. I ain't about to pay attention to some flim flarm filth or whatever. Like I can't read the shit. I don't know what it is, but I know it ain't good. So fuck you. But anywho, like I said, y'all be patient with Joshua. His time is coming. Not Joshua, Deontay threw me off. His time is coming, and we'll see. We'll see, because I think he's gonna be undisputed in the next year at least. I give it a year. In shape, Street Fighter say boxing ego as a fake dude using Eric Gomez is his government name. Oh, Eric. I see you in here. You said 2 times. You said salute and bomb squad. Don't be fugazi, Eric. Come as you are. Don't be fugazi now. We don't do fugaziness. You know, um, like I said, I apologize for telling y'all that Joshua activated his rematch clause, but that's what I was told, or that's what I heard from people I thought who would know. Mhm. He said Boxer Ego real name is Eric Gomez. Okay. Well, I mean, I hope y'all. I don't know what to say to that. Like, I hope that you're not fake, or that you act fake. We call you out on it. You said, yeah, he got ran off elsewhere. Actually, tight. Ah, Drew had to, Drew had to spank that ass. Is that what happened? It's all good as long as you're respectful. You can have whatever opinion that you want. The time you get disrespectful, don't think we gonna take it up in here. Cause I got some hitters in that's watching too. just waiting, just waiting for a nigga to step out of line. But for me, you don't bother me. Like I guess I have to see or play it by ear. As long as you respectful, I don't care what you say. I believe what I believe, and as long as I got facts to back up what I believe, yeah, I really don't care what somebody else say. But thanks for letting me know, In Shape Street Fighter, because that's the king right there. That's the king. So, let me see. Just looking to make sure I'm going over my notes. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, so if Deontay is not gonna go for Usyk, now I did tell y'all yesterday that Usyk is basically like, I'm on a mission. Okay, I'm putting my thing on it, but I'm on a mission. I want the undisputed, and whoever the fuck got them belts, that's who I'm trying to talk to. I'm talking to the nigga with the belts. I want to have a conversation with him. That's the attitude that Usyk got, and I gotta say, I love it because he keeping his eye on the prize, which is to become undisputed, which he's already going to go in the Hall of Fame. And look, he holds 3 titles. Hopefully, he can defend it, a lot of times. But right now, he's on a mission to get that other belt, and the other belt belongs to Tyson Fury at the moment. A couple of weeks from now, it will be Deontay Wilder. So the only way that Usyk can be undisputed is to fight Wilder, and he's not scared. He's not scared to do so. Kudos to this man. I ain't got nothing bad to say. I do be watching, I do be leery, but I ain't got nothing bad to say. But if Joshua don't take the rematch, then Usyk goes straight to Deontay. Because I'm calling it like that. I think Deontay gonna win the fight. But if Deontay don't win the fight, which we know that's not gonna happen, Fury, and he'll go to Fury. Whoever got that belt, that's what Usyk is going. But I told y'all yesterday, Bob Arum has already asked or putting it out there on Front Street that he want Joshua to take set aside money and let Fury get up in there. So I don't know what Bob Arum thinking and why he kind of like putting the cart before the horse, because I know Bob gotta know that Fury is not gonna win this fight. Like I said, something strange gotta happen if Deontay don't come out victorious in this fight. So since Bob should know that, then what he thinking is he thinking win, lose, or draw, no matter what, Tyson should go for the 3 titles. Bob is determined to hook this dude up. Bob, you should cut him like dead weight. You could have built like, I don't know, 3 or 4 matches in Beverly Hills, fucking with Tyson Fury. So don't he owe you money, Bob? He's dead weight. So um they are already, remember how I told y'all yesterday too, they're already trying to say that Deontay has a mandatory and Dillian White. That's what they keep saying. Now, it's a mandatory about the belt. Are they saying that uh whoever got the WBC, their mandatory will be Dillian White? Is that them secretly saying, Deontay, we know you're gonna win? Or are they trying to say, regardless of who win, Deontay need to fight Dillian? And we know that Dillian is he a young buck on the slave plantation, on the Hearn plantation. He on that plantation too, and so Dillian likes to be the gatekeeper. He wants to run interference all the time for Joshua, but Joshua don't have no more belts, Dillian. So who you running interference for? But I forgot, you on the slave plantation, you really don't got to say, and you gonna do whatever Massa say, Massa Hearn say. But he act like he want to fight Deontay. But I was watching BFTV the other day, and he was talking about how Dillian White ducked Luis Ortiz 4 times. But if you let Dillian talk, he ain't scared of Deontay. He's ready for Deontay, which we know that's all bullshit. I think that would be the quickest knockout Deontay ever did. All he got to do is punch that nigga 1 time. He gone. In Shape Street Fighter said, Bob tired of looking at melanin. Yeah, he don't want to deal with too much melanin and on the back end of his life. He like, damn, I had to deal with this shit all my life. Tired of looking at y'all niggas. That's Bob, or his true self is coming out. Told you when you get older people. I don't know if y'all been around older people, and like go talk to your grandma and your grandpa. They don't got time to lie. They don't got time to be coy. They be out on Front Street with anything. Like sit your ass down. Shut the fuck up. Old people are funny, but you got to get them that. They don't have that time. They don't got that kind of time to put it in a nice little package and button it up and put the bow on it and deliver it to you. They ain't with all that shit. And that's what I see about Bob Aaron. He definitely been at that age for a while. If that nigga in his 90s, he gonna tell the truth. Don't be surprised if he called them niggas. I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna let him have it. Cause he says all but that. He says as much when he talks about black fighters and what he think of them. He says as much. But yet you steadily putting black fighters on your payroll, and that's so you can control them, so they don't come after your great white hope or your Mexican fighter or whoever you trying to hype up. You know what I'm saying? Shape Street Fighter laughing, and he say, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am." And Shape Street Fighter cracking up over there. Yeah, but Bob is gonna let it out. We gonna see, and I don't want nobody to be shocked. I'm not gonna go on a tangent, and I already know. I already know. It's a wonder he could control himself. You said facts. That's how they are. If you really want to see how old people are, I remember I had the opportunity when I went to Job Corps. I went to Job Corps, Pittsburgh Job Corps, to go to college up there. And before college had started, I had to like get in some of the classes that they had. Like they just threw me in a GED class, and we was just studying, doing the GT. I was like, okay, whatever, wasting my time. But so, you had to do little odd jobs and work so that you can earn points. So that, points were like money. So if you want to go horseback riding or go to the movies, it was all depending on how many points you had. They also gave out counseling. And if you went to counseling, then you could earn points too. So I decided that I would volunteer at this old folks home. And where we were in Pittsburgh was, I don't know if y'all have seen the old school version of Night of the Living Dead, the black and white version. Wherever they shot that movie, that's a hospital up there. It's sitting on top of this tall ass hill in Pittsburgh. And up that hill is a jail, is a juvenile jail, an old folks home, and that hospital. Well, most of the hospital is converted into Job Corps now. But there's part of the hospital where some shit went down, where you can still see the blood on the walls and shit. They closed that motherfucker up, but it's still over there. So we done went over there and looked in and everything. I'll never do no shit like that again. But anywho, I volunteered at this old folks home. I saw the last American Confederate over that motherfucker. That's what I call them. Motherfuckers like straight, oh, like out of Mississippi burning. What do you say to these people? I'm volunteering, so I'm getting them food. If they wet on themselves, I'm helping them get to their room. I personally can't change them, but I can clean up the mess. So I'm doing all that stuff. Motherfucker called me a nigga. Everything. I was like, I didn't get upset. I didn't get upset at all. Like they old, and regardless of what they did in their life, at that point, they deserve our respect. That's just how I see things. Once you get that old, everybody just got to give them their respect and let God handle it. So that's how I'm gonna see Bob. He too old for me to get mad at him all the time. But I always tell people like Bob's still in it to win it. His mouth and his mind might be 40 some years old, but that body is almost on crypt age. So that's the problem. His mouth and his mind doesn't match his age. But he's at the age where all you can do is say, okay, Bob. All right, Bob. Okay. And that's all we can say. But trust me, somebody gonna be a nigga. I wonder who which one of them gonna get the nigga. get called the nigga first. But that's coming. That's coming down the pipeline. Uh, so let's talk about Connor Ben. I don't know if y'all ever seen this dude fight. Man, he moving strange in these streets again. I say I can't count nobody's pockets, no other man's pockets. I ain't gonna get mad, but I can. I'm discussing it respectfully, Connor. You signed with Matchroom, but your actions is not showing what your mouth is saying. Your mouth and your actions are not matching up. Say fuck what your mouth say. I'm watching your actions more so than what you say. In shape, Street Fighter say yes. They hate at the end of their life have to look at and depend on us. They sure do. But you know what? If I was cleaning their room, and as much as I'm not a caretaker, and anybody in my family could tell you that shit ain't for me. But I'm a thorough person. You know, I believe in doing shit right the first time. Work first, play second is a motto that I live by all my life. So if I had to wipe somebody's ass, I would do it, and I would do it right. I would do it in the way that I would want my ass wiped. I would be probably hemming and hawing the whole goddamn time, but I would do right by them because, you know, like I said, they deserve our respect no matter what they did in their life. Let God handle that. Let God. Let go and let God. The activist was popping, King. What's going? He said, "What's going on, y'all? What's the convo today?" Oh man, I'm just breezing through. You know, Porter and Crawford. That was my question in the beginning. Who you got? What say you? What say you? Who you got? Because I got Crawford. Anybody say different? Y'all can call me at 706-804-4449. That's 706-804-4449. We talked about you ain't missed much active activists. We just talked about the fact that we ain't gonna expect no undisputed bouts with Wilder and Usyk in the beginning of the quarter of the year, the upcoming year, because Usyk has said yes, he wants to rematch with Joshua. He won't put the nail in the coffin. And Joshua, I reported yesterday, had supposedly had activated his rematch. Come to find out today, he hasn't. I don't know what the delay is. Probably because he's scared. As I say all the time, Joshua is scared. In shape Street Fighter said he got Crawford. Great minds think alike. In shape Street Fighter. Hell yeah, Crawford gonna he gonna tune Sean Porter up. And there's something in me that believes that he gonna be the first one to drop Porter.
Call from
Pat.
to accept, press 1.
What's up, Pat? What's going on? What's the goings on?
What up? What up? What up?
Active
Yeah,
activist.
nothing out here on this road. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas right now in the truck. So we posted up waiting on the load. But yeah, I was waiting to get on the highway so I could catch the show again. But yeah, man, I wanted to holler at you when I seen that shit pop up it popped up on my Google highlights talking about Sean Porter guarantees he can beat Bud Crawford. I said, oh, I got to see what T got to say about this shit.
I'm gonna say hell to the knees off. I don't know what he talking about. Hell to the now, to the now.
Yeah,
Hell to
yeah,
the
he's crazy. I mean, like I say, I respect him as a fighter. He's a rougher fighter. He's more of a brawler, boxer type. But he don't have the resume or the wins under his belt. Yeah, he been a champion, but he don't have the resume and just the lopsided victories under his belt to be talking about he just gonna smash Bud like that. Like, nah, dude, you don't got the juice like that. You don't got that kind of clout to just be making them kind of claims.
He's a good fighter. I remember back in the day before he fought Kell Brook, I was actually a Sean Porter fan because that motherfucker was rugged. But Sean, I like boxing, Sean, and I didn't really sign up for boxing slash football. that's that's what he looked
Yeah,
like he
yeah, that's why I
doing.
say
So
he rough. He gonna use his body. He gonna push. He gonna do everything that's right up against the lines of the rules. And I mean, at the end of the day, if the rules allow it, it is what it is. Everybody ain't gonna be that technical, you know, Ali or Floyd type. I'ma just stick and move. Yeah, you got them. I'ma push you. I'ma put my body on you. I'ma rough you up. But hey, if the ref don't say it's cheating, it ain't cheating. So I feel you though.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say shout out to Terrence Bud Crawford. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. He a Libra. I knew it was something special about that dude. You know how what? I'm like, he's a Libra. Okay. Happy belated Terrence. Terrence is more of a complete fighter. Like I said, when I look at him, I said, what can he do? We've seen him back up. Like, people put more emphasis into the opponents that others have. And I'm not knocking that or saying nothing wrong. I'm just saying I don't as much. And so, you know, to a certain extent, you can't just roll up with all tomato cans. But like, I don't, you know, if Ndongo has the belts that I need, that's the motherfucker I'm getting ready to fight. That's how I see that with Terrence. Or I don't think Delorme was garbage. Back in the day, he was up and coming. He was a big time prospect. But I think since taking all these L's from people like Crawford and others, he done fell off. That dude Jean, Jerry, I don't know how to say his name. That he lived in Canada, but his last name was Jean, like Jean, like some kind of French name. He was supposed to be the bomb.com, and Crawford made him look mediocre. Y'all gotta remember, Uriorkis he never took a loss until he fought Crawford. Victor Posta, I'm telling you, what I hear is that a lot of people say that the dudes that Crawford has fought is booty after, you know, like, oh, he was a bum. And this always comes after he has fought that person. But before he fought that person, let me see what he gonna do with Victor Posta. You know, Victor Posta ain't gonna be no easy win. You know, I remember the big talk about Victor back then, and Crawford made him look mediocre. Did he not? And everybody
Yeah.
praised Virgil Ortiz for beating Mean Machine. Mean Machine got 2-3 good rounds in him. And in them 2-3 good rounds, he could probably beat anybody. But Mean Machine gasses out. And which I'm not mad at Mean Machine. I like him as a fighter. You know why? Because that tells me that he ain't on that shit. Because he absolutely gasses out. Virgil Ortiz is beatable. No special effects, just like Paul said. In shape Street Fighter say, same here, like to watch him too, but Bud not going to play that. No, he not. And then he said,
Yep.
Pascal. He said, no, it wasn't Pascal. Jerry, I can't even pronounce his first name. In shape, it was something Jean. But remember, this was at 135 back in the day. I think Bud was still at 135. This is before he went up to 140.
You said DAEM or JAEM or John,
Jean.
like the French.
Yeah, like the French, like Jean.
Okay.
Yeah, Je m'appelle John, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's what they say they got. Okay, so yeah, they got John Pascal, but you saying that was his last name?
Yeah, I don't remember his name being Pascal, but
yeah, because John Pascal. Yeah, he a Haitian, but he
bigger.
fight out of Canada.
He's bigger. This guy, look up Crawford opponents for me.
Yeah, got him. It say he a super middleweight, light heavyweight.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the big guy. I'm talking about somebody who was at 135. He fought Crawford after Crawford beat
De'Aaron Jean.
There you go. I know I went crazy because Crawford.
You ain't crazy. I found him.
Crawford looked over there at him, said, "You got
yeah,
what you
he 31-2-1. Yeah, he got a nice little record on his belt.
The dude can fight. And they was like, oh, he'll beat Crawford. He talked mad shit. Crawford was like, you find what you looking for. He was mad after the fight. Crawford put them hands on him.
Yeah, his only two losses to known name fighters. He lost his first loss was to Lamont Peterson, and then his second loss was the Bud, and then he had a draw with some dude named Ricky Sismundo right after he lost to Bud.
Yeah, and then Lundy, I didn't think was all that. Beltran, I think Crawford fought him and Collazo. Which one of them, Beltran or Collazo? These were all good fights. I mean, y'all gotta thank Crawford. Crawford to me, this is me guessing. Crawford, of course, we know come from humble beginnings, and I believe Crawford is one of them black guys that's used to people passing by, overlooking them, not giving him the break, just looking at him like he another nigga on the street, whatever. And he needs people to rep him, to spruce him up, to be like, like what Timothy did for him, like saying, "Oh, you're not just a sparring partner, man. You a fucking champion in waiting." And and then of course he gets with Bob. Everybody forget too, Crawford had that contract, that terrible contract with somebody that he was signed with before Bob, and he couldn't get out that contract the whole time he was with Bob. Every time he fought, they had to cut a check for that person. So it's like you never know what's going on. Like he did that for years, and I remember thinking to myself, when is he gonna get out that contract with that other people? Because once they saw what a gem he was, they didn't want to let go of that cash. That was easy money. They didn't have to do no work but sit back and get a cut of the check. And Bob had to pay that for years. So I'm sure for years, what's his, oh boy, Bud wasn't getting no nice checks. And it's only in that last time when he re-up or whatever that he was probably able, like I think he said, finally, I can get paid for a fight that I'm doing. I think that's what happened. I think in the beginning, Bud wasn't seeing none of that money, or very little. That's what I think. But yeah, he beat all these guys.
Yeah, they sleeping on Bud. Like my thing is, again, just by the simple fact that the man is a southpaw, and like you said, he's a complete boxer and he's good. Like this dude ain't barely winning. He's beating people up. It ain't like he's scraping by, barely winning these fights. Like he's handling his business. He's handling these dudes in the ring. So, I mean, like I said, maybe this may be the first real test that we get to see of Bud. Because, I don't really know who else he really been tested against. I kind of feel like his career has kind of mirrored Spencer's in a way, where I feel like, yeah, he supposedly fought named fighters, but he got in the ring and he made them look like nobody. Like it just always looked like an easy fight. So that goes to what you say. Oh, they was a somebody before he got in the ring with him. But then after he's getting the ring and whoop them, then they was a nobody. They was past their prime. They was a has-been, this and that. Like even with old dude, with John, he had a belt. You don't get to call nobody that got a belt a has-been. He still got a belt.
And it's crazy.
Like he's a current champion. How do you say a current champ is a has-been? I don't understand it.
But again, a lot of people, and I'm not hard on these people that think like that, because we only human. We are not perfect. It takes a concerted effort to try not to be biased. And I really do try not to be biased, even though y'all know Bud is my guy. But I have heard, I ain't bullshit, people say, oh, we're going to see what Bud can do now. I heard him say about John. I heard him say about a little bit about Lundy. I heard him say about Collazo. I heard him say it about Victor Postal, especially Victor Postal. I've never heard of Indongo. All I just know is this nigga had 2 belts and Bud won it. So,
but think about this though too. Like who just put that in the chat? His last 8 fights. Okay, In-Shape Street Fighter just put that. His last 8 fights was stoppages, right? Yeah. So I'm looking at his stoppages. KO against Julius Ndongo, who at the time was undefeated. TKO against Jeff Horn, who was undefeated but had a draw. TKO against Benavidez Jr., who 27 wins, undefeated, no draw. TKO against Amir Khan, who, you know, definitely was a applauded prize fighter that people had respect for. We thought that he had a weak chin. People know he can't take no punches, but he's a good boxer if he can stay in there and not get hit. Who is this? Epidegis Kavaluskausis, whatever. Somebody from over there.
The epidural.
TKO. The epidural cake batter. Yeah. He TKO. Kell Brook, TKO. Like, come on, man. They talking like this man is trash. So again, if all these people were supposed to be somebody, and then he get in the ring and he doing bad, like, why y'all can't just get this man his props? I can't
I'm
understand.
with you. And look, you done fucked my tongue up. I don't think I can say the dude now. I used to just say Kavalaskas or something like that.
Kavalaskas.
Yeah, call him Mean Machine.
Yeah, that's what they say. Kavaliaus. Yeah, Kavaliauskas. There you go.
Calabasas. I don't know what the fuck his name is. He's somewhere in the damn snow. I don't know. Yeah.
We don't call him K. K-Man.
K-Man.
We don't call him K.
K-Man.
Egidigus K-Man.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ego.
But yeah, he has a spectacular record. Like, that's my thing. Like, what is the hate? They can't hate this man this much because they disagree with his business decisions, that they are willing to let that taint their view of him as a pure fighter. I don't get it.
It's hard to believe active activists. I'm gonna just say Pat, dog. That's a lot to say. Active activists.
Yeah, you don't gotta call me by my screen name. You know me. I'm Pat. Everybody, I'm Pat. Nice to meet y'all.
Hey, nice to be met. I'm just look, Pat, like I that's what I say. I was like, even how they feel about Keith Thurman. I'm still a big Keith Thurman fan. And it's unfortunate that, I'm not gonna sit up here and cake for none of them, not even Bud. If you making moves where I can see why people legitimately got a problem with you, I see that. Just like in Shape Street Fighter said, he be making moves that's questionable, So I feel that. But in order for me to stay right, because my principle is don't talk about another man's money. Stay out of his pockets. That goes for women too. Stay out of a grown woman's pockets. So if I live by that principle, I try to guide myself in a way that I don't get caught up in that. I might not like the business decisions that he makes, but whose turn is it to drive the boat in his life? It's his turn. Not his mama, not his daddy, not none of us. And he's going to have to take the lesson at whatever they decide to do. But again, back to Keith Thurman. One time, what do they call it? A list having. I love you, Keith. Even though you got a list.
Speech impediment Keith.
Speech impediment Keith. Don't duck me, son. However he said. Keith is a hellified fighter. He lost one time. Lost one time. And to who? One of the greatest of all times, which is Manny Pacquiao. So Keith lost to him. Who else did Keith lose to? And as I said before, I'm going to get mad at Keith for the moves he making. I will. I promise you I will. If they can show me nobody else is making that move. Hey, my scales got to be balanced. I can't get mad at Keith for something that I see Bud do, that I see Errol do, that I see all of them do. Why am I get mad at Keith? That's how I look at it.
You're right.
That's how I look at it.
You sure right.
So
you're right.
If anybody, because all these fighters, you know what they do? They really just want to go after the people with the belt. If I'm gonna be mad at Bud, and I'm gonna be mad at Keith, because according to a lot of people, Bud he hasn't had no formidable opponents. Okay, cool. Well, what about Devin Haney? Is he not starting down that road? Is Devin Haney not starting down that road? And I'm not mad at Devin, but I'm just saying, you see how we got to keep the same energy? Devin Haney is not fighting a lot of people. There are people who will not turn down a fight with Devin Haney, but Devin got his eyes on the prize. This is what I mean by you set goals for yourself as a fighter and you make a plan to achieve your goal. You can't achieve your goal stopping off at every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Because every time Dick and Harry don't have the belts. You got to make your pathway towards them belts. That's what Devin doing. Because if Devin wasn't, why he ain't fight people like Isaac Cruz? A whole lot of other folks. Who's ready to get a shine. Devin can get him one of their biggest paydays. But Devin, he want his mandatories and he want the people with the belt. So how is that different than what Keith was doing?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at his record right now. I mean, it looks like to me the biggest win he has on his record. I say his last two fights against Gamboa and Linares. That's his, so he's stepping into his greatness at this time because it's like everybody else before that. I don't know them names. I don't recognize none of them. Them was just people with boxing gloves on. I don't know their name. They was just anonymous fighters. But yeah, Gamboa and Linares, yeah, that was his first two real fights. And he handled them decisively.
Anybody who don't know who Isaac Cruz is, y'all gonna know. Because if Camboso drops out of this fight, guess who becomes T.O.'s mandatory? Isaac Cruz. Y'all haven't seen this fella fight, y'all need to go check him out. That is not an easy win for nobody. That dude right there. And he fight with his head, so I don't really like all that shit. But he's relentless, and that's something I do like. I love relentless fighters, and I always say we live in the era of the relentless fighter. Because every fighter who has been relentless, think about it, they've been kicking ass over everybody, in my opinion. Like, them the fighters, you got to be like, damn, this motherfucker gonna take me hard.
Dang, you right, T. He ranked, he the number one ranked Mexican in his division in the lightweight class.
All right, in shape Street Fighter. Hold on one
second. According to BoxRec.
1 second, Pat. In shape Street Fighter, thank you for coming in, King, as always, being supportive. Thank you. Go handle your business. I got you, King. Go ahead, Pat. What you saying, Pat?
Oh, yeah, I was saying, yeah, got Isaac Cruz. He the number one rated lightweight out of Mexico, according to BoxRec, and he's number 11 in the world. But yeah, I'm looking at his record. Yeah, like you say, yeah, this man 22-0, or 22-1 with 15 KOs. So yeah, especially like you say, if he's a rough, traditional Mexican style fighter that put his head on you and know how to use his body even more than the average Mexican fighter does. Yeah, you're right. That's a fight.
I say when it gets tough, because I've seen him had to dig in his pockets to pull out a win. It wasn't like he was in no danger per se of losing, but he was opening that door and he had to dig in, and I saw that he used his head. But most time he don't even get to that point. He don't stop coming. The motherfucker is like Terminator. That's what I want to call his ass, Terminator. He don't stop coming.
All steps forward, never take a step back. True definition of a Mexican fighter. Chavez is his hero.
He digs in and he don't stop coming. And he hitting you with bad intentions. Now, I done seen him go the distance a couple of times, and that motherfucker, he ain't, I don't think he losing power. I think that nigga in shape, he don't be like breathing and shit. At the end, all the motherfucker, hey, he gonna, like, y'all gonna mark my words, that boy gonna be somebody. Y'all gonna be talking about him. But I'm telling you, it's almost like he there for the taking. Especially now that you tell me he from Mexico, why would he turn down a Devin Haney fight? Why?
Yeah.
Or why they don't go after him?
Yeah, you're right.
And I love Devin Haney. Big Daddy Haney was popping out there in the social media. That's Big Daddy. And again, when I say Big Daddy, I don't say that ain't got nothing to do with sex. That's about how the man is a real man moving in these streets. You know, like that's a term of endearment. Everybody don't get Big Daddy status, so when you get it, it's like I so respect you and everything, you know, you say and you about. That's why I call you that, Bill Haney. Just so you know, so it's no harm or disrespect because I know you married, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I really do like how you move as a man. Like when I look at Big Bill Haney, I be like, that's a man. Mm. Remember what I told you that a
Mm-hmm.
long time ago, Pat? When the girl can look at you
Mm-hmm.
and be
That's
like,
hey, what you say? That's a man.
that's a man. It's
Yeah,
like one of the
yeah,
highest
that's
compliments a person can get. Now, to the other fellas that be around, it's not nothing to take away from you. If that's the case, then how do other girls feel like I could be standing in the crowd and the dude be talking about somebody next to me, you know, talking about something, ooh, she a dime piece. You ain't even talking to me. And I should be upset. I don't get upset. That's what you call a dime piece. That's for you to say. So um I know not the people in here today, but Pat, I done had I done had a situation or two when I call somebody
mm-hmm.
Big Daddy and
Oh
somebody
yeah,
else
oh
get caught
yeah.
in their feelings. Hey, he Big Daddy, he Big Daddy. Is it don't take away nothing from any other man. It's just he's Big Daddy. What can I say? But Big
That's right.
Daddy, Devin got an opponent in front of him, probably. White Isaac Cruz would love to take that belt off of Devin, and Devin ain't gonna give it to him. But that's a good fight, and they don't
That's
want
a
to do
good
it.
fight.
And I don't.
That's a
So
good fight. We're gonna see a true stick and move boxer
mm-hmm,
with talent versus a relentless, come forward, aggressive Mexican style fighter. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, that would definitely be a nice backup fight.
And we know he got the power. Now the thing they say about Devin Haney is that he don't really got the power. I like the show that I did yesterday because I was talking about the lightweight division. This includes Devin Haney and them, and I was saying, has you know what has T.O. done to the division? Because you know I believe this, Pat. Attitude reflects leadership. You know I believe that.
Hmm.
Attitude reflects leadership. If your leader at the top of the post is fugazi and doing some fugazi shit, what makes you think the person at the bottom and everybody in between that can do it? And the reason I do put some onus on Teofimo Lopez, because guess what? You are the leader. Y'all see what
Yeah,
Floyd
yes
did to the
he is.
welterweight division? We can't say Sugar did that, even though Sugar Ray Leonard, they opened the pathway. We're not going to negate what they did do for the sport in that division. But we know that Floyd put the welterweight division on the map when it has always
Yeah,
been about
yeah, that's right.
heavyweights.
Yep.
It was
Floyd made the welterweight division the most exciting and competitive division in boxing because everybody had to fight for the right to get a bite at Floyd.
exactly, and look how much money those guys generate. They
Is
made it
that
a
yeah?
glory
Is that
division.
yeah? He made them. Exactly. He made them dudes. He made those middleweight. Yeah, that's crazy. You're right. Because back in the day, the big fights was the heavyweight fights. That's where all the
Always.
millions went. Floyd changed the game. He changed the money dynamics of boxing.
Exactly. And guess what? The 135 division, the lightweight division, has a unique opportunity to do the same thing. But look how they acted. And all of them, what, like 25, 26 and under. Look how they
Yeah, they
acted.
right. They young. Yeah, they young dudes. Hmm.
Ryan Garcia can't never talk about his own shit. He either wait till somebody get a fight, then he want to talk shit, or he's coming up on a fight with one of his next tomato can opponents, and then he want to talk about, but I want Tank, I want Devin, you know, whatever the hell, use their name so that people can be like, oh shit, Ryan won't he called him out. Let me go see the fight he in now. And that's all he wanted you to do
Yeah.
is go see the
Yeah,
fight
he
he
just
in
wants the
now.
social media buzz. That's right. He want his name to stay in
Punk
the
ass
news
motherfucker.
and to keep that buzz and keep that free press. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all. He not on the level. Ryan can't right now. Okay, he ranked number 8 according to BoxRec, but I don't feel like he can mess with anybody in the top 4 for real.
Oh,
Devin
Box Rec.
Haney,
Wait a minute, they
Diaz,
changed.
Lomachenko, or Lopez.
Oh, let me update you. They didn't change his ranks. I don't know if it's BoxRec or ESPN. I got it right off of one of them websites. Ryan is ranked number 4. Ain't that some bullshit?
Let me see if it's ESPN.
I saw that shit and was
ESPN.
like, what? He ranked number 4. Who the hell?
Let's
Who
see.
was sleeping
Yeah,
at the
let's see
wheel?
what they did. Cause let's check it. We check ESPN, Yahoo, BoxRec.
Mhm.
Let me see. Okay. So in the lightweight, in the straight lightweight division, um, let's see. I'm
Because
looking at the
T.O. is number
lightweight
1,
now, trying to
Loma
get
is
it.
2, Tank is 3, and Ryan is 4. Ain't that some shit?
Let me see. So okay, so lightweight. So Teofimo still number 1, Loma number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, according to ESPN, this is theirs. Lopez number 1, Loma number 2, Haney number 3, Tank Davis dropped the ranking. He was number 3, and they got him at number 4 now, and they got Ryan at number 5.
Still, Ryan should be on the roll call list in high school. He should be on nobody pound for pound list.
hey, he's for athletics class.
Yeah,
Garcia is a Garcia here. Garcia, please raise your hand.
the appreciation award. That's what he should get. The LOA. That's what he should get. Letter of
Yo,
accommodation. That's it. Ryan is bitch made. Like I'm so sick of him. And I try not to talk about fighters like that, but I got to. First, the nerves of steel this nigga got. He first of all, he's a liar, and he as these young folks call it, clout chasing, but I call it, you know, put
exactly. He's big cap.
big
We
cat,
call him
like,
big cap.
yeah, all that bullshit. The thing that broke the straw for me was the other day when he tried to lie to the public and try to so-called in his own little way chastise Caleb Plant, talking about some that never happened. That's just highly disrespectful to talk about somebody's mother, and to, first of all, that's not what he was doing, and then say he's a drug cheat when you don't have any proof. Nigga, where you been? Where have
Hmm.
you been, Ryan? Everybody know that Canelo has cheated. Now, let me tell you, Canelo could be clean for the rest of his life. But remember, Pat, when we talk about opening doors, you open the door, nigga, for people to call you a cheater. I'm talking about Canelo. You open that door because you cheated once. And, it's not a
Mm.
far stretch for somebody to think, he'll cheat again. Once cheater, always cheater. You cannot get mad that that's what people think. But for Ryan to stand up there and tell the American public, because that's what this press conference was geared to, the American public and the rest of the world for that matter, to stand up there and say that shit ain't true when we know that he popped dirty. We know that he was suspended. So why is Ryan
Hmm.
saying that? Like,
Hmm.
sometimes, what Monique said about Charlemagne the God, she said, you know what? We gotta explain brothers like these. Remember she said that? That's how I
Hmm.
feel about Ryan
Hmm.
Garcia. You gotta explain people like him. Like, what? And I was like, see, you already starting your career off on a bad note. The one thing too.
Oh yeah. And
Well,
then one more, and it's looking like the Ring magazine got him ranked number 3.
that's Oscar's shit.
Mm.
Hey, what you think about Oscar's declaration here in the last couple of days? Have you heard what he had to say about himself?
It had popped up, but I didn't actually click on the link, so now I don't know what he had to say.
Well, he's on. I guess he went on Twitter. That's why social media is dangerous for us older folks. But he's on there telling us, "Hey, look, guys, look. I feel real good, and I haven't been on drugs. I haven't drank any alcohol, and I haven't been on drugs for the last 6 months." I was like, "What,
Oh, okay. Okay.
nigga? You been on
All right
drugs?"
to that.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I see. Look, so you see, they got some. He got a beef going with Dana White. Apparently, they arguing about fighter pay. You know how much money the fighters is making.
He got a beef coming up. When right now with Eddie Hearn, I wonder who pissed in who cornflakes, because Eddie and him is
Mm.
at odds too. And we was like, well, what the fuck happened? I thought y'all, I ain't gonna say y'all was buddy, but y'all was cool. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what has happened lately. I think, look, I'm gonna say this for real, for real. Oscar got his issues, and he probably did some crazy, nut, unforgiving shit. I don't know nothing about that, but I hear that he's a pervert. Okay, that's good enough for me not to like him. However, that nigga going through some shit right now. I don't think he all the way stable in his mind. I think when you give up drugs, that shit is hard. It's not easy. And the bad part about it is a lot, especially when you wait this long to give it up. When you give it up, it seems like you be coasting and coasting, and then one day you might have a weak moment, and that'll be the day that drug take you up out of there. Um, all I could do is pray for Oscar. Whatever his faults
Mm.
is, let God work on him. I sincerely pray for him because he is sounding incoherent. I gotta talk about coming up this interview he did where he was confusing Eddie Hearn name. He was calling him Thomas Hearns. and,
Mm.
and they was
That's how he felt. Yeah,
no,
that's real petty and childish.
well he could have
Um.
been playing, but to call somebody Thomas Hearns, that's a compliment in boxing when you think.
Oh well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I take that. I'll accept that. That makes sense. If that's how they taking it. If that's how Eddie took it, alright. As
Eddie
long as
probably
he
didn't
wasn't
take it like
offended.
that.
But
Well, I mean,
what about this though?
uh,
So did you? Because I hadn't seen. Did you talk about this hypothetical fight between De La Hoya and Mayweather, and him putting up 100 million to Floyd?
I've made videos extensively about this is not like the first time. I guess it's the first time I hear him put a number to it. But he been begging Floyd and everybody but Santa Claus to do a rematch. Oscar and Pacquiao cannot let that loss go.
They
They not.
they can't. But see, that's what it is. It's the legacy.
Hmm.
It's the legacy. Because that's my thing. You willing to put 100 M's up just for the chance to put that that first L on that man record?
Hmm.
It's worth that much to you. That's crazy to me. That's obsession.
And Oscar, you're 48. I'm older than Oscar. Damn. You almost 50. Okay. You think because you're doing good in your workouts with your trainer that's going to translate into that ring. You're going to fight a guy who has always taken care of his body versus you who have damaged your body. And you're going
That's
to
right.
find out
You
like
on
you
the
did it.
rebound, and Floyd is on the just on the regular natural decline.
Hmm.
He ain't nothing to rebound from. He's still in boxing shape. He never was out of boxing shape.
Floyd, he going to
Like you
see,
say, De
yeah,
La Hoya just stopped drinking and smoking within the last 6 months.
it's
You're not ready.
crazy.
You're an older, slower Oscar De La Hoya, and you're gonna get embarrassed.
the
But
the, the writer of that
hey,
article said he was forgetting Usyk and Joshua's name, like he was having trouble remembering. And I said, "Oh shit!" This is why I say I'm gonna send a prayer that's out for him. But he was forgetting it, and the guy said, "I hope he was just playing around." But the guy can't conclusively say, "Oh, he was just joking around." And I was like, "Well, damn, he don't need to get in nobody ring ever again." And for truth be told, if you've been off drugs for only 6 months, you damn sure don't need to get in nobody ring. Lord would kill you, dog. You know, it's
yeah,
not the same,
yeah.
dog.
I
Let it go.
mean, hey, like I say, I wouldn't advise against Floyd. I definitely tell Floyd get in there and take that easy 100 million.
Oh,
Sure would.
maybe that's the difference between women and men. Cause I'm like Floyd, you don't need the money, and sometimes you gotta save people from themselves. Oscar, his ego won't let him. The best thing that Floyd could do is let them rot in their ego. Just let them rot, because the older they get, the far away from ever redeeming that loss they're gonna be. and you should just let them
Mm-hmm.
ride off into the sunset. It's killing them.
Mm-hmm.
It's killing them.
From the
So
inside. That's right. The stress and the grief from losing to him is just gonna
it's
just
killing them.
burn them up.
PGA's big dog in the building was Papa King. But yeah, it's just if I was Floyd, if you ever be out there and you be like, let me turn the boxing fan talk TV. I hope you do one day. And he said, let me see what she put on it. What's her stank on it? Floyd, just because you can do something, that don't always mean you should do something. So I hope you do not fight Oscar just for the mere fact they were sore losers. If they needed to do whatever, they should have did it in the ring. That's why I say to all fighters, leave it in the ring. You won't have regrets. Look at these guys. They can't even grow old peacefully because they got so many regrets. Floyd, don't give him a chance. Let that shit go. Oscar life, you might kill him in that ring. He ain't all the way together.
Yeah,
I mean, and
yeah,
Floyd should know because he
yeah.
said his mother suffered from addiction. So, no, Oscar does not need for his own health, you know. And I believe
Yeah.
Floyd won't do it. It ain't worth it, Floyd. But
I hear you.
what
I
Oscar
hear
getting
you.
100 million? Now he dipping into his kids' inheritance. I was like, wait a minute, Dad. Wait a minute now. Hold up. Hold up,
Mm-hmm.
player. That's our money. You
Hey,
made that
yeah,
money for
word. You're
us.
gonna have to let this vow of revenge you had, you're gonna have to let that go. You're gonna have the family out here living in squalor trying to get rematches and get wins back.
His
So
daughter was like,
yeah.
Poppy, wait a minute. That's my money. Fuck Floyd.
Hmm.
She 19 years
Yeah,
old.
word.
Like he got a daughter that's
But
19.
But all right, I just wanted to holler at you. We've been on the phone a while. Come on, y'all. Let's still four people or so in the chat, man. Y'all call into the show, man. Y'all can't just let me and Keith bulldoze the conversation every time, man. We want to hear from y'all.
All right, Pat. Thanks for
I
tapping
love you
in.
later.
Love you too. Bye. Yeah. So that's some real talk right there. Floyd, ignore Oscar. I'm not even going I hope to God, Oscar, I will pray for you. I sincerely will pray for you. Because I don't think you in your right mind. Connor Ben, let's talk about Connor Ben, y'all. Connor Ben is calling out people like Victor Ortiz and Chris Algieri. First of all, leave Chris Algieri alone. We have not. Anybody know if that man fight? I haven't seen Chris Algieri fight in some years. What the fuck you calling him out for? Conor Ben, if you was serious about getting in this welterweight division and causing some ruckus, your ass wouldn't have signed with Eddie. I'm telling y'all, like, again, I ain't gonna count your money. I don't care why you signed with him, but let's be realistic, Connor. You said, this was your mouth saying, I want to fight the big names in the welterweight division. That's what you said. And then you signed with somebody who's going to prevent that. So what you want us to think? But that's why I'm tripping when I said Golden Boy, well, Oscar and Eddie, they had some words for each other. Oscar mad at Eddie for some reason. I don't know who pissed on who Cheerios, but they mad at each other. And Oscar is the shade of it all. Trying to act like he don't remember his name, whatever. I don't know. Either Oscar got some serious mental issues or he really throwing shade on Eddie Hearn. But the reason why that's important because Oscar and Eddie are known to work together. I can't say that about Eddie and PBC or Eddie and somebody else, but again, Connor, if you was real serious, I have to question your moves. So when I look, I hear what your mouth say, but I'm seeing what your actions do, and your actions are telling me you don't want no smoke in the division that you in. And they not gonna come to you. Listen, people over there in UK, you have a beautiful country. You got beautiful history. But y'all ain't shit when it come to boxing. We in America don't give a damn about over there. When y'all be making y'all deals and trying to set up fights, we don't care. And a lot of us don't care. I don't think the fighters care about going over there. They used to want to, But we see how y'all been hoarding these belts. Y'all get over there and try to act like y'all the Mecca. No, motherfucker, we the Mecca. May I remind you about 1776 and 1812. And don't let me have this conversation again. We don't care, dog. We don't care. Y'all care. Y'all want to be top billing. I'm sure Mexico want to be top billing. The Mecca is USA. Sorry. The fighters that you hate to see coming keep putting us on the map. The new age ones is the Deontay Wilders in the world, the Terrence Crawfords of the world, the Errol Spence of the world, the Tank Davis of the world. Y'all see a overlapping theme in those names I just called? What's similar about them? And y'all can't stand it, but it is what it is. Stop putting yourself in position, calling out like what you want, and you know you're not going to get it. I don't care that you sign with Eddie. That's your master. You want to do that? That's you. I ain't counting your pocket, grown man. I'm not doing that. But don't say, I want to be undisputed. I want all the top guys. When you know that's a problem with that. Making that happen. Why go somewhere where that's going to be a problem? So all we can do is look at your fights. If you're not fighting notable people because you're from over there, you definitely ain't going to be known over here. But those are your choices, Connor Ben. Those are your choices. And you knew that going in. I don't know why you call out Chris Algieri. I haven't seen him fight in a while, but you want a name on your record. Now, Virgil Ortiz, that's good. So if Eddie and Oscar can get over their feelings or get out of their feelings long enough to make that fight happen, that would be cool. And I told y'all, Virgil Ortiz is easy to be beaten. Telling y'all, they making big hay out of him, but he is an easy win. Dude got like 3 tricks in his bag. That's it. And Connor hits hard. So he's hoping that. He's hoping that he can hurt Virgil. And we saw Mean Machine hurt Virgil. So maybe Connor can. But Connor, you couldn't even get Granados out. Man, either Granados got a hellified chin or you don't hit as hard as people like to say you do. Or you try to make like you do. So we shall see. How about call out Boost Ennis? Are you one of the people that turned down a fight? Because I heard that Boost here recently tried to have a fight. 15 people turned him down. And I know he's not looking backwards. So who is these 15 people? Boost Ennis, if you're out there, please put out the list of the people that turned you down so we can know what time it is with these fighters. Call out Boost Ennis, Connor. You searching for Bobby Fischer? Call out Boost Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. Them 2 fights can be made with his own because Boost, I think, is independent. And if Oscar get out his feelings with Eddie, them 2 can make a deal for Virgil. But you ain't you nowhere near getting Errol, and you nowhere near getting Terrence, and you know when I don't know if you near getting what's his name Danny Garcia and maybe Sean Porter. I don't know anybody else, but be realistic in who you calling out. And don't call people out. You're not proving your case by calling people out who's been inactive. Because I all but thought that Chris Algieri retired. So I don't even know why you call him out. But I don't blame you. Like I said, you do what you do. You're a grown man. You trying to get your name out there, and that's what you're supposed to do. So I don't really blame you per se. You don't have I don't have nothing bad to say about you, but whatever. Make sure your words match your actions. If you want people to take you serious, if you want to make it over here in the States, you better come here. What they say, if you can make it out of New York, you can make it anywhere. That's a true statement. You need to come to one of these big cities in America and put your bid in. You ain't going nowhere over there. Because we know you were Massa Eddie or Massa Hearn. So we know if you do win a belt, guess what you're going to do? You're going to hoard it like AJ. And we don't got time for that. No time for that. So yeah, Oscar, get out your feelings, Oscar. I pray you get better, Oscar. Okay. This other thing, I don't know much about it, but Richard Schaefer, y'all remember he used to work for Golden Boy? When Golden Boy was the shit, Richard Schaefer was at the helm. He was like the CEO over there. That motherfucker was doing the damn thing. But he has now partnered up with some folks. He's the president of Pro Bellum, and it's a new global boxing promotion media company. They launched recently, as early as like around approximately around September 20th or something. They launched as early as that. They aim to take a global approach to the sport. They trying to fill in the gaps of, other countries where boxing is not big. Like they're basically trying to grow the sport and get people on board. And they go into places where the media has dropped the ball, or promoters and all that dropped the ball. Like one of their aims is to get heavy into Africa, because we know there's a lot of stuff that's coming out of Africa, man. That's a good market to tap into. So they like a promotional media company, and they're gonna be supplying. Their goal is to support boxing from grassroots level to major championship level. I'm sorry, I'm reading. They also want to promote, co-promote, or support 100+ events in the coming year. This is what they promising, and they in the beginning they're projecting that 80 to 90% of their business gonna be out of the country, be outside the U.S. But if Richard Schaefer put his stank on it, I'm sure it's gonna be real successful. They want to work with promoters and managers, and it seemed like something they're gonna want to help the fighters. They also want a digital platform and control their original content. Kind of sound like what Fred was saying, huh? Barbershop conversation. He was saying, I hope I'm right in my assessment. He was kind of saying, like, you fighters can take the money that you win, put together a card, and control the medium in which this fight is going through, and it doesn't cost as much as people think. And and then put that shit on YouTube, put whatever platform you own. And I was like, you got a point. That can be done. But here's Richard Schaefer, and Richard Schaefer and the boys kind of seem like they doing exactly, kind of, sort of like what Fred said. So, you know. But shout out to Richard Schaefer. When, like I said, when he was at the helm of Golden Boy, that shit was the bomb.com. Okay. The last piece of news I'm gonna talk about is Camboso. Camboso strikes again. You know, he has called out his lawyers. His lawyer is Greg Smith. They sent the letter to the IBF saying Triller is in default. You know, ESPN has a copy of this letter. It's basically saying that Triller misrepresented to Lopez that Cambosa already signed a amendment to the contract allowing the fight to be moved. So basically, Triller went to Lopez. I'll put my thing on. I'm gonna break it down. Triller went to Lopez and be like, your boy George already signed this bitch. We've been waiting on you, player. What you gonna do? We can move this look, cause we can't fuck with this NFL shit. We can't fuck with this Yankees and the Red Sox shit. Come on, player. We gonna move it to a better date. Don't worry, ain't nothing gonna change. We still gonna pay you. George is on board. Come on, let's get it done. Time is of the essence. And I guess T.O. was like, okay, and just signed the shit. George was like, mm-mm. That's the lie you told. So the you can't Triller cannot move this date unless both of them sign off on it. So they played each other. They played both parties against each other. Um. So he objects, like, let me see. Basically saying that Cambosa already signed the amendment to the contract for to be moved. Um. He object to Triller refusing to show proof of funds by in the escrow. So basically, I guess before he leaves Australia, I guess Triller should have put the money that since they won the purse bid, put all that money in escrow and an escrow account for either one, where it's almost like guaranteeing the purse, like you showing the money and you guaranteeing it, because Triller can't go and take the money out and renege. Once it's in escrow, those fighters can look at it and say, that's my money. But Triller didn't do that. So we thinking Triller walking around here with billions of dollars to throw around. They won't even show the escrow accounts. So I'm like, George he's spilling the tea. So he also said that Triller reneged on prior marketing agreements. So maybe Triller didn't promote the fight like they claimed they was, or did what they said they was gonna do. And remember yesterday I was talking about, who does this hurt? It hurts the fighter's brand to be going back and forth with this bullshit and the shit not going down. So then he also said Triller is in breach of contract, and they lied to the IBF about Camboso agreement to move the date. So Triller is like, they just doing some foul, dirty, backhand shit as if they could do with it. I don't think they understood the boxing game as good as they could, as they should have. Camboso sicked his lawyers out on Triller by going to the IBF because Triller is making moves that's against the rules in the IBF. The IBF has power because they ordered the fight, or something. So I don't know why Triller don't know what they can and cannot do, but George know. George ain't letting them off. Now we're gonna get to the part that made my jaw drop is George saying Triller should be found in default and breach uh and barred from future purse bids. That would be bad for them if they trying to get into boxing. He said we're gonna bar you from future purse bids since you don't know how to act. The IBF, if the IBF agree with what George Camboso and his lawyer is saying, then Eddie gonna win this purse bid, because we know that Eddie came behind Triller, and Eddie's purse bid was 3.506 million, which is not 6.018, which Triller had. We know the purse split is 65-35 in favor of Teofimo. Okay, so right now, if Triller do it, T.O. can earn about 3.9 mil, and Camboso can earn 2.1 mil, which by the way is the highest purse bid. I mean, highest paid that either one of those fighters have ever made, and probably will make. Because remember yesterday I said, George, just relax, get the check. I don't know if Triller is stalling. I don't know what the fuck they doing. And then the fact that they ain't had the money in the escrow, and you got to think every time Triller go out there, they had to put a deposit down at the MGM. They lost it because they canceled it. They claimed they got a deposit at the Barclays, but George is saying you don't even have a venue showing with this new amendment to the contract. You don't even have a venue. But Triller is saying we got the Barclays. You got to put it. He said we got it. So that means you put a deposit down on it. You spending money, Triller, and it's cheaper for you to just let the shit happen and then be done with it. All this cancellation, you don't get your deposits back. You still got to pay these guys. So this is where that's gonna come in. So when Hearn come in, if the IBF agrees with George and his lawyer, when Hearn comes in, he got to pay T.O. 2.2 million and pay Camboso 1.2. The 1.2 million deposit to the IBF is gone. They don't get that money back. So Triller's on verge of losing all kinds of money, but it's their own doing. That's why I said yesterday is T.O. plays a part. George hands are clean, but I really blame Triller because they don't know what the fuck they doing, apparently. So even if Triller gets blown out, they still have to pay Teofimo $780,000. They have to pay Camboso $420,000. That's not up for discussion. That's what they got to do. So then also, those two guys can sue Triller and get paid way more. than that shit. That's still on the table. Even if Eddie Hearn picks them up, do the fight, they get paid, all that shit, they still can sue Triller. Triller better open them fucking books and read the rules. Um, they lost 100K deposit at MSG, and like I said, they can still be sued. So look at that. Big George, Big George Camboso, he putting the fuck to him, and he should, because they was trying to put the fuck to him. As I said, Camboso didn't. His hands is not dirty. He did all he could do. T.O., you played a part. Because you're not as savvy of a businessman as you think you are. So you need to have several seats. But Triller, this is all your fault. Bob, you come out smelling like an OG as usual. You know, you wrong. You should have paid them guys as if you would have paid your white guys. You should have paid them, but you didn't. And so, and this ain't the first time this happened to Bob. It ain't gonna be the last. But Bob always come out smelling like roses because he know what he doing. Triller, you don't know what you're doing. Open up these sanctioned body rules and learn that shit backwards and forwards. Get a lawyer on your team that look at shit like this before you just waltz into. You like actually just throwing away money. You have no idea what to do with your money, and you throwing away money. And by the way, Jake Paul ain't interested in your $30 million, so that's crazy right there too. So, I don't know. It's give me the billions. I'll spend it for you. I'll make sure some shit happen too. But anywho, that's all I got for y'all today. Thank y'all for coming in the building. Um, I will see y'all tomorrow. Remember, when you do better or when you know better, you'll do better, right? When you learn something, you do better. I have put out some bad juju, not too bad of information, but I came back the next day and corrected it. That's what I was talking about, Robert Blake. So if you got something to say, call in or come in. I put the link in the chat all the time so y'all can beam in. But thanks for coming in. Shout outs to all my Facebookers. Again, shout outs to y'all, whoever got in Facebook today. But again, I hope you start coming through the chat in the studio. Anywho, I see y'all tomorrow.